Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including the slow death of Cartoon Network. Another major TV provider is moving it out of their base package, making it harder to find, harder to get. We'll tell you what's happening and why Cartoon Network and other kids' networks are really struggling. Also, cable TV subscribers paying more than double what cord cutters are paying. We got to look at a survey that breaks down what people are paying for streaming as cord cutters and cable television. It puts a lie to a lot of people saying you might as well go back to cable because it's cheaper. We'll show you what's happening there. Also, a new lawsuit targeting the CEO of Redbox. Remember Redbox shutting down? Bankruptcy's not done yet. It feels like it's dragging on forever. And there's a lawsuit targeting Redbox. We'll tell you what's happening with that and a whole lot more here in a quick second. First, though, if you're new here, you can always find every story we talk about, because there's a lot to cover, in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. If you like what we do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up. We do videos like this every Monday through Friday with all kinds of other videos on weekends, throughout the week, and more reviews, how-tos, and so much more to help you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows that you enjoy. All right, let's dive into it. Sling TV will be removing Cartoon Network from its Orange plan at the end of this month. This comes as Sling TV started to notify customers that Cartoon Network will be moved to the entertainment add-on that will cost you a little bit more money if you want to get Cartoon Network, along with a bunch of other networks with that. This comes as Cartoon Network, as many kids networks have, has seen its ratings fall over the last few years. DirecTV recently added Adult Swim to its My Entertainment package, its cheaper package of just entertainment channels, but did not include Cartoon Network. During the day, the channel is dark. At night, the channel has Adult Swim on it. Kind of a shocking thing that they would agree to a split deal with that. Now, I don't think Adult Swim is going anywhere, but Cartoon Network is definitely kind of becoming a thing of the past. You've seen Adult Swim continue to expand earlier and earlier into what would traditionally be kids' television time. The age of Cartoon Network's viewers continue to get older and older, resulting in them bringing classics from the 90s and 2000s back to try to kind of recapture people in their 40s and 30s and even maybe 50s now, trying to pull them back into what they may have watched when they were younger. And now you got Sling TV saying it's not worth it to keep it in our base package. We're going to move it to a more expensive one. Keep an eye on this. Universal Kids just shut down. Some kids networks have been some of the hardest hit, with like Nick Teen seeing a massive drop in viewership in 2024, according to Variety. It wouldn't surprise me to see big changes coming to kids networks, as kids are now watching on streaming, not on cable television. All right, let's keep moving along. Cable, speaking of cable television customers are paying more than double what cord cutters are. We surveyed over 1,900 of you, and you told us that the vast majority of you pay $70 or less every month for all your TV streaming needs. Now, that number is interesting because it includes people paying for things like YouTube TV, Hulu, Fubo, which are significantly more expensive. I've shown a trend that we've talked about many times, people increasingly going to cheaper on-demand only options and not bothering to get some of the more expensive Fubo, Hulu Plus Live, DirecTV Stream, etc. The reason for that being, if you're not a sports fan or you're not a news fan, why are you paying for it? But when you look at the average cost, according to researchers, average cost of TV for just the TV, not the internet and the cable TV packages, $147. Yes, there are some people paying less, but like we recently reported, 20% of our readers tell us that when they canceled cable television, or I should say almost 20%, when they canceled cable or satellite, they were paying over $200 a month. You see why people are canceling the cord. You know, if you're paying $200 a month for television, even a $90, $80 TV package on streaming is very attractive. And if you think about it, if you go to Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, you can be even more significantly cheaper. We'll keep a close eye on this, but does it surprise you to find out that cable TV customers are paying almost double for television than what streamers are? I'll be interested to see how this plays out. Spectrum is really leaning into, hey, we'll bundle a bunch of streaming in, but will that really answer people's question? You know, people don't seem to care so much about having everything now. they're happy to pick and choose what they watch. They want to save money. I think that's going to become more and more important in the years to come. All right, a new lawsuit claims ex-CEO of Redbox treated it as his personal piggy bank. Now, this was first spotted by the Low Pass newsletter and filed recently that a trustee from Chicken Soup for the Soul bankruptcy case is saying that prior to the bankruptcy proceedings in 2024, the debtors were victim to mismanagement and basically accusing the former CEO of pulling out money for his personal needs when the company needed that money. Lawsuits like this are not unusual. We'll have to see how this plays out. I am very interested to see that they're still, when they're trying to shut down the company, we haven't heard much. They're still far from an end to when this bankruptcy and everything finally shutting down. We talked recently about how Crackle mysteriously reactivated itself recently. I still think that's a mistake. I assume they're using something like Amazon AWS to manage the hosting of that. And when they failed to pay last year, that they were cut off, and that's why the website was always there, but many of the videos didn't play. It was funny, for a while they would play an ad, but then after the ad, nothing would play. Now these videos are playing without ads, still for free, and many things like the help section on the website still doesn't work. Makes me wonder if they paid enough or made some type of arrangements enough that Amazon or some other similar service reactivated their hosting. And there's so few people still working at the company, they just didn't notice that Crackle was running and probably running up some bills with no revenue coming in off of it. We'll watch what happens there, but keep an eye on this lawsuit. Keep an eye on Redbox. It'd be interesting to see how this finally plays out. A lot happening there. A lot of people are still very upset that everything they bought on Redbox just vanished on them for the streaming service. All right, and quick question. Any Redboxes still working anywhere? It wasn't that long ago that a local Walgreens still had a Redbox working. But leave me a comment, let me know. You know any still working? All right, today in TV history, this one kind of strikes home a little bit. TV Guide, 72 years ago this week, released its first magazine. In 1953, TV Guide hit stores with Lucille Ball's baby on the cover in its first release. Very interesting to see TV Guide, now 72 years old, still in print form, not quite what it used to be, and a website. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the website is actually owned by another company now, and the magazine's owned by a different company, and one or the other is paying naming rights to the other for that. But 72 years ago, TV Guide became a reality. Who here remembers the 90s and 80s coming home and checking out that new TV Guide that came in the mail to see what movies would be on that week or that weekend if there was anything you wanted to watch? Am I the only one that remembers that? Or the Sunday Press, checking out the listing in that. All right, Amazon's home internet's finally getting close to becoming a reality. After many delays and false starts, they finally have a launch locked in for this month. They're going to launch their first set of satellites into space for commercial use. About a year ago, they launched some test satellites late last year that were meant to just test out things, and everything worked as expected. According to all reports, the tests of these satellites worked perfectly. They had hoped to already have many satellites in space by now, but multiple delays because their launch partners have delayed it. Now they're going to get their first set of satellites, and there's still rumors that they hope to, by the end of this year, start very limited service, with it really ramping up next year. We'll see what happens, but a lot of people ask me, what is the price of this new Amazon home internet service? Unfortunately, we don't know. We do know they say it'll be speeds up to 1 gig, but pricing is unknown, though they kind of hinted repeatedly that they intend to be cheaper than SpaceX's Starlink. I would love a little pricing war on that, but I know many people in rural America still love Starlink, but competition and pricing would be great on that. Speaking of pricing, Verizon is now rolling out a 3-year price lock guarantee on mobile plans and home internet, both for its 5G and fiber options there. If you've been thinking about getting home internet or mobile line from Verizon right now, if you do, they will lock in your price for 3 years right now. Check it out, link in the show notes if you want to check that out. Hey, deal of the day. Now, I'm going to be very honest. We cover entertainment, streaming, and all that, but I also like to help people save money. It's a big reason why I started Cord Cutters News, is to help people save money on television. We also do a lot of stories about helping you save money on phones and internet and different things, but I also like to pass on a good deal when I see a good deal. So today's good deal that I spotted, not necessarily cord cutting, but Amazon has launched a deal in April with Procter & Gamble. If you spend $80 on their products and things like Bounty, Tide, Pampers, Cascade, the list goes on, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card. For me, I got a kid still in diapers, stocking up on some Pampers through Amazon, and then taking that $20 and applying it towards a streaming service like a Paramount or a Starz subscription through Amazon. Pretty good deal there. No little roundabout way into cord cutting, but check it out. Link in the show notes if you want to learn more about this. I definitely took advantage of this deal to stock up on some diapers and some Tide. You may want to check it out also. Link in the show notes again. But again, I love deals. I love helping people save money. I understand that sometimes people are like, why are you covering this? Because I want to save you some money. Check it out. Link in the show notes down below. And lastly, there's a new ATSC 3.0 tuner. This is a USB dongle that will work on a wide range of devices, including TVs from Google TV and running Fire TV. Some select devices there, which will turn your Fire TV and Google TV device into an ATSC 3.0 tuner hub. Details are very slim on this still, but it was sent to us from Pearl, the company behind ATSC's 3.0's big push. And we will definitely be taking a look at this and testing out. But if you have an Android TV, Google TV device, or a Fire TV you've been thinking about getting ATSC 3.0 on, check it out. Link in the show notes down below. And then, oh yeah, real quick, just $69.99. Not a horrible price compared to some of the other tuners. Many questions though. DRM? There really is not a lot. In the PR email we got and on the Amazon listing for it, almost no info on things like that. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video, but until then, you take care, you be safe. Talk to you all real soon.